This morning's thought train led me to realizing I have finally found my paradise. It began with me reflecting on reading the book of the Nazarene. And this is where the Messiah phrases things in a way that it clicks. You understand it in a whole different way. If we remember throughout the scriptures, there were public teachings where the Messiah taught crowds, and then he would pull his disciples aside and explain the parables. So he let them in on the secrets. So the ones who wrote the book of the Nazarene, they were his uncle or great uncle, his mother, Mary Magdalene, the one known as Mary Magdalene, the apostle who he assigned as a son for his mother. She just lost her firstborn son, who's supposed to take care of her in her old age, on the cross, as they call it. And so he looked at one of his disciples, his apostles, and said, "Look at your mother. Behold, mother, this is your son." And so he would have been traveling with them, looking after her, fulfilling this responsibility. So they would have been ones who were in on the secrets, okay? The explanations, the elaborations of the parables that the Messiah taught publicly. And so, of course, they would phrase things in a way that makes more sense to the mind that needs more sense to be made of these things, and will do them justice. So the phrase is, everybody gets immortality. We're all going to be resurrected immortal. That's a fact of life. Now, whether we wake up under the rule of our Creator's kingdom, or we wake up under the rule of Hasatan's or Satan's kingdom, is up to us. But this life is where we choose it, where we will spend our immortal lives. And that thought led to, I remember hearing from many people, they don't ever want to be reincarnated again. Their belief is reincarnation, and there's a reason why. They don't want any part of this life. Okay, keep that in mind. They don't want any part of the life that they're living, the people that they're surrounded with and associated with. That is their hell. Reincarnation, spending time with the group called the Crimson Circle, they claim to be entities that belong to an elite club in heaven, where you have to have lived the life as a human being in order to ascend and be allowed into their elite group. So the fallen angels, what they arrange for is they introduce themselves. He explained the process to me, like to everybody publicly. You could probably go back and find the recording on their website. So they get the child used to their presence, and they start talking as if they are the child. They slowly take over the child's identity, and then they live the life that they want. And then they die when they're tired of this life, or the preset. So they learn how to memory wipe one another, how to memory wipe people. And so the people adopt the memories of the spirit entity that's occupying them, so they feel they've been with them since they were a child, messing with their presence, getting them confused as to, I'm saying this. So every time the child say, I'm hungry, the spirit says, I'm hungry as well. So that the body and the child's voice gets accustomed that spirit is actually them themselves. And so they get all the memories, and they, some of them, not all of them, it depends on the memory split, will remember, all their superpowers, which aren't the child's superpowers. It's the spirit that latched onto him like a leech. And so they're tired of reincarnating, but they've been doing it for so long they forget that they were never human to begin with. They know they're not human to begin with, but they forget they're not human to begin with. And so they're just exhausted. They want to get off this cycle of karma that they've created for one another. It's like a day at the fun park for them, okay? Like Disney World for fallen angels. So they're tired of reincarnation. And I realized as I go from that to reincarnation, I never believed in reincarnation. No matter how much they pitched it, I couldn't let it settle in me. It's the same thing with the Trinity. I couldn't let it settle within me. I couldn't become settled amongst those who have that belief. And it's ever since I was a child. I just raised Roman Catholic. God is like an egg with the yolk and the white part and then the shell. It's 3 in 1. And which doesn't make sense. The shell falls away, it dies, it gets eaten, it gets devoured. Then part of the inside gets consumed to form what will actually be the chicken. So unless our Creator cannibalizes himself, he's not like an egg. He's not 3 in 1. Unless he's constantly shedding and devouring one part and then consuming the other part to form himself. See, it doesn't work. It's not working for me here. So I go to that, and then I realize I found my paradise. My whole life, I never settled in with a group of people. I couldn't live with their morals. I couldn't live with their principles. I couldn't live with their belief systems. So, and it is so unbearable because people with certain spiritual beliefs just don't have certain morals. For example, before I started following Torah, my kids, we need a third person in the house. Why isn't there a man in the house? Okay, I'll explore the options. Live in the middle of nowhere. Try online dating. Oh, heck no. Don't ever. It's like the first thing that popped in my head, man says he's Christian. Oh, hell no. No. He's talking all sexy like? Nope. Because he's going to have a night with you, girl. Or guy, she's going to have a night with you. And then the next day, he's going to be at church praying forgiveness for his immorality with the disgusting, no-moral, unbelieving slut that they were with, which would be you. No, thank you. See, they believe they just need to repent. And once saved, always saved. They're not really in danger by committing fornication, having sex outside of marriage. They're just really, it's just a formality for them to go and pray for forgiveness. And their mind may not realize it, but that's where their heart has settled. See the difference? So my heart, my soul, my stomach has never settled in a community, in a church group, anywhere. and learning that everybody gets immortality. So wherever you have found home, wherever you have settled, your heart and your gut have settled themselves, that is your home. If you are miserable in your home, you are going to be miserable as an immortal, because that home, that spiritual family, these morals that you agree to live amongst without going forth and searching for anything else, that's your forever home. Look around you, little fur baby. Those people, those spirits are your forever home. And that just totally changes the game. There's no vagary involved here. And immortality, we do not come to offer you immortality. Immortality is yours. Where you spend your immortality, we are here to share with you the good news. Your immortal life doesn't have to be in that spiritual place that you settled for, in that community that you settled for, in that community you never left. There's better. There's more liberated, there's more loving, there's thoughtfulness, there's consideration, there's kindness, there's gentleness, there's class, there's elegance, there's eloquence, there's support, camaraderie, shared endeavors, exciting adventures in relationships. It's all there. It has it all, and it has it in peace. Your soul is at peace, not constantly in conflict with, oh, my family's up to this, the kid I grew up with, she's working down the road, I'm working down the other end of the road, and we're just fighting and going at it with each other. We just hate each other. Same war with the same person in the state legislature, that you keep going, you keep voting, you keep making. You've settled, and you're trying to make this your spiritual home. You're trying to model it after you. And this is where you end up. But if you try to model it after the Messiah, who was sent to be our model, then you end up beloved, cherished, nurtured, and looked after for your immortal life. And I realize I haven't found my spiritual home amongst the human population as of now. However, I've found my spiritual home as far as understanding. And I'm not alone in these understandings. Just varying people are at varying degrees. Like, we've got those who follow Torah, but they still follow a Sunday circus, okay? Church, the word in Greek used for church meant circus. That's why there's music, and there's a performance, and then there's more music, like a concert, and then you are released into the world, having been injected and infused with this entertainment that programs your thinking and your morality. Keeps you in your spiritual home, which you are probably not happy in. And so it just hit in a whole new way. We've got those following Torah, but still doing the circus practice of Christendom. We have those who are trying to follow Torah to the T, but They're ruthless, like merciless. There's no tenderness in these shepherds whatsoever. They come from a more Jewish background and way of thinking. And you see the difference when a child interrupts the service, okay? In one, the child will interrupt, and the one at the podium be like, "Oh, that's my grandchild, aren't they wonderful, they're so cute," and they'll talk for a second, and then they'll go back to what they're doing and what they're speaking on. And the other one is like, can you please take care of that child? The child's making noise. Yeah. See the difference? Like, I want to throw up with the child's making noise. Can you take care of it? That tone just makes me sick. Like, physically ill. But that one with the physically ill-inducing tone has more of the shared understandings of Torah, which means teachings, histories, all the stories of all the ancients, all the righteous, and all of those stories that tell us what unrighteousness is, the mistakes, all of that is Torah. And they have more understanding of how the words were used and things like that than the softer, gentler one who's more focused on love. So you go to the one more focused on love because that's what you're looking for in a spiritual family. And your wheels start spinning because you're just like, I know that answer. I know it. I can tell you this. And I'm a woman, so I'm supposed to remain silent within the congregation. I was just like, okay. Like, because they have a more limited understanding. They can't speak whole truth. And for me, I'm so like, I've felt it, I've tasted it, I've touched it, I've seen it, I've heard it. I don't want to settle for anything less, and it's just horrible. So I have not found my paradise here on earth, but I have found my paradise within, and I have found it in the heavenly realm. So the outer stuff is going to have to follow suit eventually, at some point. I don't know if it's going to go on long enough for that to happen here in this life, but this life doesn't matter. This is where I chose. This is where I got to make the choice. The earth is not like a womb. The earth is like a birth canal. You're being crushed. You're being squeezed. You're being deformed. And you're being stripped of your shelter. You're being stripped of your nourishment, your source of nourishment. That umbilical cord and that placenta is coming out right behind you. Alright? So you are detached. You are naked. The earth is more like a birth canal than it is a womb. Okay, the womb is what we come out of. And we come out of it through this birth canal called earth, where we begin to make choices for the life ahead, what we will become as adults. So upon resurrection, we will be adults. We will be living the life that we chose to build our foundation on. Did we choose righteousness? Did we choose faithfulness? Did we choose goodness? Did we choose good people? What is our foundation for our future? Under the rulership of our Creator, or under the rulership of his enemy, who is also your enemy? Okay? You're spending all your time worried about what your legislator, what your town officials are doing, what the schools officials are doing, what the health officials. You're focused on them. You're devoting to battling them, reasoning with them, changing them, and you're going to look around and you're going to be like, I'm living my forever with that person because that's who I gave all my attention and devoted. I am devoted. You are devoted. Your devotion belongs to that person whom you hate and focus all your time and energy on. That is your partner for eternity. Like, your immortality is with them and everybody else like them. And everybody else like you who's sitting there going, oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh yes. Oh yes, 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 yes. It is brutal. It is absolutely brutal, but it's true. And if you're devoting yourself to money for a sense of security, unless you have people dependent on you, if you employ people, if you have a family to feed and all of that, then that's a different case. However, if you're pursuing money just so you feel safe, just so you feel good, you feel comfortable, you can accept yourself, in that case, money's going to be gone, and what's left but the evil around you that you tolerated, that you turned away from, that you ignored, that you might have even joined in participating. Everybody steals toilet paper from the bathroom. Oh, everybody takes a little bit of extra coffee out of the break room. Oh, what's a few paper plates? I need them at home. Did you participate? You are spending your future with people like that who will come into your home and say, oh, they've got plenty of that. I need this. And then you get ticked off because you've been robbed. It's like you see the videos of the porch pirates when they snag something with the colored bomb in it, the dye bags in them, like, and they're coming, I'm gonna sue you, I'm gonna sue you. Like, are you serious? But that's the person, if you're focusing your entire day on how to get that porch pirate, your devotion, you are devoted to the porch pirate, and you will spend your immortal eternity with the porch pirate, and it's going to be too late. You don't get to go looking for paradise. That's your paradise. You're going to have to accept it. You're going to have to come to terms with it. That's insane. So I thought that I would share that perspective for anybody else who would like that registering fully and completely. And that maybe you have found your spiritual home as well. It's just not reflected yet around you. I know how you feel. I know exactly how you feel. But hopefully you feel a little less alone. So it be, and so be it.